Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Mr. Sandman, and today I got some very exciting gameplay I want to share with you guys. So just recently, I played a few custom 2v2s with BigHugmonster, Dap2Good4U and SmoothedTube900. So this is our final game, and it's a very... it goes into the late game, I'm going to say that. And yeah, it's a very interesting game. So to start off, personally, in my opinion, I believe that we're at a leader disadvantage. So we're Cutter and Prophet, and they're Chieftain and Forge. So obviously the Chieftain's better at rushing than the Prophet. So obviously the Prophet has to go on defense. So that's a disadvantage right there. But then you also have Forge, who is worse on this map than Cutter. So I know it kind of balances each other out, but still, I think we're slightly at a disadvantage since we can't really go on the offense at the beginning, can't rush at all, pretty much. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, just, you know, trying to get the supplies. I mean, I built 2 warhogs right off the bat. I mean, you always want to do that, no matter if you're going warhogs at the beginning or not at all, you know, to like stop the teleportation of Covey's units, or to quickly go into hogs, which spoiler alert, will have to do later on in this game. So yeah, I get rammed by that chopper, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, so kind of, you know, trying to scatter what's happening. He gets his Prophet out, let him get his own supplies, trying to run away from this chopper. And then I hear that fucking gunner, so I'm like, oh no, this is shit, we're fucking lost. I'm like, nah, we've lost. Alright, we're already lost. So he's got 3 gunner hogs, and I've got a red bar, and yeah, it's just not good. I haven't even got a reactor up to research gunner at this point, so it's pretty shit. And then to top it all off, I'm getting rushed by the Chieftain. Not sure why the Chieftain would choose to go for a Cutter base. That's kind of strange to me, but you know, each their own. So they're all rushing my base. That's fine. So I'm just trying to stockpile a bunch of warhogs. Oh, just before that, I was just trying to scout to see if he'd build an expo there, and he hadn't. That's why he got gunner so quickly. So he hadn't. So, but if he had, I was gonna send my warhogs there to try and, I don't know, put some pressure on him. So at this point, I'm just trying to do everything that I can to try and stop us from losing at the very beginning. So I got a reactor up, I'm researching gunner, trying to build up numbers, you know, see I've locked down my base. So now it's switched on to the Covey base, which is kind of strange. So here I'm like, oh shit, I should be camping at the front of the Chieftain's teleporters. My Prophet's trying to defend against warhogs, you know. Not sure how that's gonna work out, but yeah. So I'm like, yeah, shit, gotta do my part. But then they all of them switch over to the Covey's base. So it's all very weird. But then I get this jackpot, you know. I find him in the middle of building his expo, so that's actually really good for us. So what I do is just send all my warhogs to this base and just deny it, because if we can stop this, we have a real chance of coming back and having advantage in the later game, i.e. building tanks and all that. So that's a good thing. Oh, that's real shit right there. One of my red bar warhogs just let itself get rammed, which is really shit. So I'm like, ah, fuck it, he's trying to stop me from killing his base. So at this point I'm like, fuck it, I'm back in this. No way I'm getting this to half health to leave it. So I'm like, yeah, just smack it. So at this point I'm just going to go on defense against warhogs and a Chieftain. So I'm really confused as to why he hasn't dropped any brutes at this point. I mean, he did get inheritance, I will give him that. He's on 1 base and got inheritance, but he hasn't got any units, so I was a little confused by that. He's vortexing, not sure if worth, but yeah, you can vortex if you want. Uh, so at this point, I realized that we're both gonna have to go in into tanks. So I thought I'm gonna have to upgrade some pads while I'm building a couple of warhogs. And you can see here, he's pretty much just sacking his warhogs. Yeah, he's just given up at this point, pretty much. Well, pretty much. I mean, he's making me work for the kill of the warhogs, but still, yeah, he's pretty much given up. And yeah, I mean, I think if the chieftain had some units, they might have done like a lot more damage on the offense. But I guess he thought the inheritance would win it all, but didn't really work out that well. I mean, Jesus Christ, double turret at the back of his base. Oh man. I mean, don't get me wrong, those honor guards wreck shit against leaders and infantry, so you know, Prophet ain't all that bad on defense, not gonna lie. So at this point I'm trying to quickly go into double pumping tanks just to get units out. I mean, that'd be so embarrassing if he got tanks out before me, because he's already getting his he's already getting a vehicle depot up. So yeah, I was like, shit, gotta get my answer to that vehicle depot, because if we lose the ground, then it's all over, because obviously the Prophet's gonna have to go into vampires at this point. So actually here comes like a counter rush, not a counter rush, but it's like the second phase of the chieftain's rush. But the problem with this rush is that he's really red bar, so that is good for me, so I can just like take little pot shots of this chieftain, just like go in and out. That was really bullshit. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, really great vortex, I love it. Yeah, so here I realized I need to double pump on the other base, because I want to have all my as many pads on this expo as like as many built. I don't want to sack a pad on that base to build a depot and make the base weaker, because that would be shit. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to build a depot on my main, which I didn't want to do, but I kind of had to. So at this point I'm just trying to kill I'm using my warhogs kind of like anti-air, because I don't want to build Wolverines, because I want to let my Covey person do that, build the vampires. So at this point I'm just getting out tanks and trying to take little pot shots, take down that chieftain's health like as much as I can, and just use those warhogs to keep my tanks alive. But my tank is taking quite a bit of damage, which is kind of shit. But you know, they're both red bar. Banshee sort of isn't that bad. And then yeah, so shit, man, they're getting lots of damage on these unbuilt pads, which is really annoying. And then, so as you saw there, just a little bit before, I'm still upgrading pads, you know, still trying to keep my resources in line with the forge, which is, you know, always the advantage of a forge, getting those supply pads, which is really annoying. You know, it means you can get tanks really quickly when you forge, even if you're delayed by going warhogs, like he had to go. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, his push has been stopped, so that's all good. You know, we got vampires, so that means I can go into the strategy that I wanted to in the beginning, which was have 2 depots on my expo. So at this point, I'm just telling the BigHugmonster to get the supplies on this rebel base, but also I wanted him to send just one of his vampires to the expo, but he didn't do that, so I'm gonna have to send my warhogs to do that shit. Anyway, so here you can see me researching Canny. Yeah, fail heal right there. Trying to take out this rebel base, and here I'm just sacking my warhogs basically. We can see he was trying to get the rebel base backed off for some reason. Not sure why. Again, another heavy supply pad. So now the Prophet can get the more supplies, you know, hopefully get Tech 3 soon, or he actually gets the Expo instead, but you know, Tech 3, Expo, whatever. So here, yeah, second depot. Here I'm facing, I don't want to down tech to Canny because I know that it's going to go into PT at this point. There's no way it's going to be a Canny game. So here I'm just really trying to feel out what kind of tanks he has. I don't know what shot me there. I think it was Banshees maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah. You can really tell he's just going straight into vampires as well, because he's just sacrificing every single Banshee that he has. Here I'm considering building a barracks, because I like to, when I go tanks on this map, I like to get Spartan tanks. Just to get that bit of health boost and damage boost in those canny exchanges. Yeah. I mean, there's one trade-off with that. It means you can be delayed in getting PT, but you know, it's personal opinion really. So here I'm like, shit dude, it's like a really weak base. Like, you need to send in your vampires, but he doesn't send in any of his vampires, which really pisses me off. But shit, I can't do anything anyway, because he's got like pretty much the same population of tanks as me, so I can't really take that on. I have to get some sort of advantage over him. I mean, this point was good. I mean, he was distracted on the Prophet, so I could have come up behind him, but you know, still, it really wasn't that much of an advantage. So there I'm just upgrading my Spartans before I put them in my tanks. Yep. Here we can see that Big Hug is building on his Expo, just getting that all built up. Building another tank, so I really need that population to build up. And I think this is one of those points where you either build some Spartans to put in your tanks right now, or you just go straight to full pop of 30 tanks. So I made the decision to just build some Spartans instead. I mean, who knows if that's the right decision, but I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so the Prophet, I think, is going to kill the other rebel base. No, he's not. Okay, got some more tanks. We're up to 7 tanks right now, which is pretty good. And we got a Spartan. So what I want to do right now is to not let him know that I have Spartan tanks. So, you know, keep it a secret. But as you'll find out later, that doesn't really work out. And here at this point, I'm like, what the fuck is Big Hug doing? He just sacrifices every single one of his vampires for no reason whatsoever. I mean, I wasn't even ready. Like, if he wanted me to push up, he could have flared, but no, he didn't say shit. Okay, you see there, I saved up to 1,000 to get Tech 4. I mean, like, I can't go in there and kill those green tanks. I just get wrecked. So I'm not sure what he was thinking right there. At this point, I'm thinking, oh fuck, what have you done? Have you just lost us the game? Because, I don't know, it might be a little known fact that, like, vampires and tanks versus tanks, the vampires help quite a lot. Not really in damage, but mostly in distracting the tanks, because then they get distracted on the vampires, which actually have quite a lot of health, and they don't shoot the enemy tanks. So they're actually really good distraction because they're beefy, you know, have a lot of health, and they do, you know, some damage. I mean, yeah, some damage. Here I'm not going to bother just keeping Tech 4 because, you know, that Spartan laser's not going to be worth it. There's no real difference between 6 and 7 stars on a tank, really. So here I'm just patrolling, you know, don't want to be caught off guard. And here you can see that Big Hug just flared saying that he's going to go hunters. So I'm like, yep, That's fine with me. But as you'll see in a little bit later on in the game, it kind of comes back to bite us a bit because we have 0 anti-air at this point. And so that means I have to save a little bit of my population for anti-air, which means he's going to have a little bit more population in tanks. But I guess it kind of weighs itself out with him going all anti-vehicle, you know, all anti-tank. So yeah, I guess it kind of balances out, but 0 anti-air, basically. And you really do need anti-air. I mean, you can't underestimate the vampire. You just can't. Just there, I researched New Blood, because I know this game, unfortunately, will go longer than I'd like. You know, it's going to go into the long game. So I'm like, okay, I need to get some sort of advantage over the Forge. And I know that advantage is going to be having ODST. ODST and tanks beats everything. I'm telling you right now. If you can get it in customs, you pretty much GG, no re. So, you know how before I was saying I didn't want him to know I had Spartan tanks? Well, he had something in the tower right there, so basically he knows, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you know, what can you do? So there I was just researching, what is it called? Dual launchers maybe? No, it's not dual launchers. Volley, yeah, it's called volley. Okay, yeah, I was researching volley because I'm going to build a couple of anti-air Wolverines. So here I'm saying, well, he's got PT, but he doesn't. He did build a couple of Spartans, so yeah, he was going to do it anyway. So yep. So I'm kind of annoyed that we've allowed him to build up on his expo and get all this shit when we had such an advantage at the beginning. Well, not advantage, but you know, we had more time to build units. So that kind of pissed me off, that we gave him all this time to build on his expo. I mean, pretty much at this point, it's kill all his units, then get his expo. There's like no way we can just kill his expo without killing his units. So here I can see he's going by himself, which is like perfect. So I'm just saying, you go left, I'll come around the flank behind him. Here, see this straggler tank? So I'm like, free kill it, no problem. That's one less tank to worry about. And then here, I think Dap know that he fucked up. Like, he's just backing himself into a corner. He's like, oh no, I fucked up. So they're pretty good Mac actually, one tank, not bad. Good damage on a lot of other tanks. Here I'm just, you know, doing serpentine shit, you know, dodging. I don't know, it's supposed to dodge bullets. I don't know if it does it, but it's good practice to micro your tanks. So here I'm thinking, fuck, dude, this is perfect. If we can get out of this with good units, then we've, you know, can kill all green units and we're golden. But then the fucking vampires, dude. You can't underestimate these vampires. Because look how much, like, basically we should be like full pop and all green's tanks dead, but it's pretty even at this point, which is so surprising. Well, I guess he didn't have that many hunters. He had about like 8 hunters, I think. And I don't know where this fucking chieftain came from, dude. Like, seriously, to this day, I don't know where that chieftain came from. Like, just Houdini'd itself into the battle. It was just really weird. But I can't get that shit out of there. Not dealing with that stun ability, thanks. Prophet is doing so much work, dude. It's just taking out everything. Yeah, he's trying to canny that. They aimed down the Prophet so you couldn't teleport any more beam hunters in. So at this point, I've got Dap on the back pedal. You know, he's retreating, but I still got these fucking annoying vampires on my tail. So I'm like, oh, okay, gonna have to deal with this shit with my own Wolverines, which is very annoying. So all I did there was I wanted to have a little scout to check if he was building, if any of them were building a third expo, because I really wanted to know that. I can't let them get a third expo. That would be just one extra thing to worry about. And here, Kind of stupid of me to heal there, but I thought the vampires weren't going to come back, but they did. Fucking annoying. So there, I'm researching whatever that's called. Some sort of heal. Oh yeah, that's right, it's called medic. Okay, yeah. I played this game before. Alright, awesome. So he's only got about 500 there, so it's not really that much different. But he is going to retreat, I think, maybe? Yeah, he retreats from those 5 hunters. So I'm back up to full pop, basically, at this point. I've got 3 Wolverines. I'm thinking 3 Real Wolverines should be able to deal with a full pop of vampires. But, I mean, definitely if I had dual launchers, but I don't, which is really annoying. You know, hindsight is a bitch. Should have kept that tech 4. But here we can see his chieftain struggling to get a hit off on my... Dude, that chieftain's AI is so BS. He should have got a hit on my tank. I will admit that. But, like, he's struggling to get a hit on. And I just can't get that shit out of there. Oh, poor chieftain, dude. Poor chieftain. And he's just fucking... He's got a global rally point of just hunters just coming 2 at a time. Oh, man. So newbie, dude. I'm just kind of... I don't know if people know this, but like, you're just supposed to go for those tanks that don't have Spartans in them, unless they're red bar like my Spartan tanks are, and he goes for them, which is smart. So I'm really surprised how we're like losing this battle pretty much. So, well, I think it's mainly because he's just sending 2 at a time, which isn't really working out. He should really just be stockpiling in units, but you know, whatever. Maybe he thinks we're struggling here at this point. He's just like, I don't know what's his strategy behind that. So here I'm really actually worried at this point. I'm like, fuck, dude, he's pretty much got the same number of units and he's pushing me back. So I'm like, fuck, how is this happening? So, but then I don't know, something happens and I think we're winning at this point. It's pretty hard to tell. I mean, his vampires are distracting a lot of my tanks, which is very bad for us. And it's great anti-infantry. Vampires are very good anti-infantry. So like, he's taking out a lot of his hunters. So here I'm just trying to get a sneaky heal in between battles, hoping that the vampires won't come back and fuck my shit up. And of course they do, of course. Why wouldn't they? I don't know how he knows I'm healing every single time. Like, maybe he can see I'm healing somehow. Fucking hacker. So there I'm just setting the Marine in the middle so we can get a better line of sight. So at this point, I'm thinking as soon as we get ODC, it's GG pretty much. Unless I can't get ODC and he denies it, he gets to my base, then we're fucked pretty much. Because I'm actually the only one who can take out vampires. I actually am. Because these hunters will do shit against vampires. And you'll see later on that they actually try and do something with those vampires. But anyway, here we're like, I'm just trying to go around the longest way to kill this shit. But for some reason he has his units there. Maybe he's learned from last time that I like to go that way when I push up. Yeah, he probably learned about that. He's learning, dude. He's learning my strats. No way. No, dude. So, it's good. We're researching ODC, I think we are, maybe. And then here, I think this is a good engagement for us, I'm not sure, but there are a lot of vampires killing his hunters, which is pretty much negates all his hunters, basically. Like, they're pretty much useless. Because he's just aiming them down. And my 2 Wolverines are struggling to deal with those vampires. So here, I do see that he has actually got an expo, and I just hang that shit. Just do not want to have to deal with that later on in the game, if it does come down to a later game. So we're just cutting that shit, don't want to deal with it, no more production of whatever. Even though resources at this point isn't an issue, it's just control of their side should be kept to a minimum, so, you know, so we can get them out of the game easier. So at this point I'm just like, dude, we got ODST, it's GG. I'm just like flaring and trying to let him know that we got ODST. So at this point, as you can see in the top right, I've got only 2 pop available. So I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna need a field armory to get 40 pop, because you really need that extra pop for these ODST. But it's not the end of the world, honestly. I mean, having the 10 pop would be nice, but it's not the end of the world. The good thing about ODSTs is that they're kind of like how would I pitch this? They're kind of like cement for your bricks, like your bricks or your tanks. So they like fill in like the gaps, basically, the ODST. So like if you lose a tank, just replace it with 3 ODSTs. Simple. Like it's a really good complementary unit. I mean, honestly, in cut like 3s unarranged, you just see so many people fucking going ODST and nothing else. It's just fucking so stupid, and sometimes they think they're doing the right thing, and it's just so surprising. So here I'm just aiming main, dude. If we get this down, I know it's game, and I can just, if my tanks all die, I can pretty much just use my ODSTs to guarantee it dies. But here, I don't know, he's got engineers just preparing for my ODST, which is smart, but it's too late. As you can see, they're healing at their base, which is awesome. So I'm here I realize maybe we're kind of fucked a little bit, because I don't know. So here I'm just trying to stall his tanks a little bit, you know, roadblock of ODSTs, human meat shield. Here I like struggled to get one in the tower for some reason. I don't get it in the tower for some reason, which is really annoying. Like, see what the fuck are the ODC doing there? I said go in the tower, and they all die. Really pisses me off. Oh cool, dude, a red bar ODC went in the tower, awesome. So here his chieftain is, I don't know what good he's gonna do, but he's there. So here I'm just, basically at this point, that's just for line of sight in case, I don't know, something long term happens. But come on, it's GG. There is nothing more to be said about this game. This is GG. I'm pretty much just teasing them with ODC. I mean, Jesus Christ. You hardly ever see ODC in customs, ever. So, yeah. So at this point, I was gonna go for that go around, do my normal strategy of going around and then getting the Cubby base expo, but instead, cause he found out I was gonna do that, I'm like, nah, I'm switching around. I'm pushing through the middle, and I'm stopping whatever you've got. So here, I flared that we need to kill that expo again, but I know I can kill it really easily, so it's not such a big deal. Like, tanks will kill it, ODST will kill it, Mac will kill it. I mean, it's not a challenge. So yeah, then I'm like, from here, I'm gonna cut around and get all of their bases dead. I want to make sure this is dead and buried. So I don't know if you notice that, but you can see a little bit that the SmoothedTube is actually trying to base trade almost. He's trying to, I don't know, if you can see on the minimap, you can see he's trying to aim main on Big Hug's base. He's trying to kill it with vampires, because we have basically no anti-air, like, pretty much. So he can, he would kill it if he wanted to. He could kill it. So here we just got the reinforcements. So we got that beautiful extra 10 populations to just spam ODSTs. Oh god, it feels so cheesy, dude. See, yeah, I just showed you what he's trying to do. He's trying to aim main. I mean, it's a good strategy, but it's honestly way too late. If you should have done it way earlier if you wanted to. But I mean, if you'd done it earlier, maybe I would have just simply sent a couple over in. So I don't know. I'm honestly not worried, dude. Like, honestly not worried about his base. He's got a shield base, you know. It's not bad at all. So here I'm like, how the fuck did a green tank get there? And that got me thinking he must have an expo up there. I don't know how he built an expo up there without me knowing. Like, how the fuck? Look, he's got. Look at that. So sneaky. I don't know how he got that base there, but he did. Yeah, it's GG, dude. GG. GG. Look, he's trying to kill my Spartan. What a dog. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for sticking to the end. Before you go, I just want to show you a little something of the true skill of SmoothedTube. I mean, I will say that I think he hadn't played in about 3 months, but he is very high up on the true skill. I'm just going to put that out there. Anyway, thanks guys. Cheers.